Picture the ATM in the corner of a dim bar, its screen glowing as a customer taps through a withdrawal. $3 flashes on the screen, a tiny tax nobody thinks twice about paying. Here's the part almost nobody sees. The person who owns that machine keeps a lot less of that $3 than you'd guess. That gap between the fee you pay and the fee the owner keeps is the whole story of this business. Ask anyone selling ATM routes online, and they will tell you it is passive income, drop a box, and collect cash forever. Spend 10 minutes with the real numbers, and you will see it is closer to a small logistics operation wearing a vending machine's costume. I'm your host, and on Financially Astute, we open the real books on businesses most people only guess about. Today, we're breaking down the ATM route, what it costs to place these machines, how that surcharge fee actually gets divided, and what an owner truly takes home once every hand has taken its cut. To ground this in something real, we're following Ray, who has run a small ATM route for 6 years, servicing machines in bars, laundromats, and a couple of convenience stores. His ledger will anchor every number in this episode, machine by machine. Every ATM transaction produces a surcharge fee, typically somewhere between $2.50 and $3.50, sometimes pushing toward $4 at a busy convenience store or near an event venue. That fee is the entire engine of this business. There's no subscription revenue, no upsell, just that one number multiplied by however many people walk up and press withdraw. There's a smaller secondary stream too, a tiny slice of interchange revenue from the card networks on some transactions. For a small independent owner, that's usually a rounding error, a few cents here and there, not something to build a business plan around. The real driver of income is transaction volume, and volume swings wildly depending on where the machine sits. A quiet strip mall office might see 50 to 150 withdrawals a month. A busy bar, a concert venue, or a packed convenience store can push 300 to 500 or more. Put a machine in the wrong spot and it barely earns its keep. Put it in the right spot, near cash-only foot traffic, weekend crowds, people who forgot their wallet at the bar, and the same $3 fee suddenly multiplies into something worth managing. This is where Ray's route gets interesting. He's got one machine inside a neighborhood laundromat doing modest, steady volume, and another wedged into the corner of a busy dive bar that outperforms it 3-to-1 on a good month. Same fee, same machine cost, wildly different outcome, purely because of foot traffic and cash habits at each location. That's the first lesson of this business. You're not really selling withdrawals, you're renting foot traffic. So the revenue side looks simple enough on paper. But that $3 fee doesn't land in the owner's pocket hole. And that's where the real math of this business begins. Add it up across Ray's whole route, and you get gross transaction revenue that looks healthy on a spreadsheet. But gross revenue and take-home pay are two very different numbers, and closing that gap is the entire rest of this episode. Getting into this business starts with buying the machine itself. A new ATM with a modern card reader and full compliance features typically runs $2,000 to $3,500. Refurbished units can be found for $1,000 to $1,800, tempting for a first-time owner watching every dollar. Now the part that quietly changes everything, the host location's cut. Almost no bar or store lets you park a cash machine in their business for free. They negotiate a commission, sometimes a flat rate per transaction, sometimes a percentage of the surcharge, often landing somewhere between 10 and 30% or more of every fee collected. On a $3 surcharge, a 20% commission means the location takes 60 cents before Ray ever sees a dime. High traffic, high leverage locations know their foot traffic is valuable, and they negotiate like it. Then there's the float, the actual cash physically loaded inside the machine so it can pay out withdrawals. Most machines need $2,000 to $3,000 or more sitting inside them at all times, money that's either the owner's own capital tied up and idle or financed through a cash management service that charges a fee for the privilege. That float isn't a one-time cost, it's ongoing. Every time the machine runs dry, on a Friday night, at exactly the worst moment, someone has to physically reload it, or the machine sits there earning nothing and annoying the host. Layer on the smaller recurring costs, wireless or processing fees, running roughly $25 to $60 a month per machine, insurance, and the occasional repair when a card reader jams or a cassette motor fails. None of these individually break the bank, but together they chip away at margin every single month. Regulatory upgrades add another layer. EMV chip reader requirements and ADA accessibility standards have forced owners of older machines to spend money just to stay compliant, sometimes hundreds of dollars per unit, just to keep operating legally. And then there's Ray's own time. Somebody has to drive the route, refill cash, clear jams, and handle the occasional angry call when a machine eats a card. Ray does most of it himself to protect his margin, but that's hours out of his week that a spreadsheet doesn't show. Pay an armored transport or third-party servicing company instead, and you buy back your time, but you hand over another slice of the profit to do it. There's no version of this business where the cash and the labor are truly free. So we've got a fee, a commission, a float, recurring costs, and somebody's labor. Stack all of that against the revenue we mapped out earlier, and now we can finally answer the question this whole episode has been building toward. After the host's commission and the operating costs are subtracted, a single, well-placed machine often nets somewhere in the neighborhood of $150 to $500 a month for the owner. That's a wide range on purpose, because location and volume swing the outcome enormously. A quiet machine in a low traffic spot might barely clear $150 after everything's paid. A machine humming inside a packed bar on weekend nights with strong volume and a fair commission split can push toward the higher end of that range or occasionally beyond it. Neither outcome is guaranteed, and both depend entirely on the specifics of the location. One machine at those numbers is pocket money, useful but not life-changing. The math starts to matter when an owner scales to a real route, 10, 15, 20 machines spread across a city, each one contributing its own modest slice. Ray runs 14 machines. On a typical month, after commissions, float costs, and his own time servicing the route, he nets somewhere around $3,000 to $4,500. Some months lean higher when a few bar locations have a great weekend. Some months lean lower when a machine breaks or a location's traffic dips. Annualized, that puts Ray's take-home somewhere in the rough range of $36,000 to $54,000 a year before he counts his own labor as a cost. It's meaningful income, especially for a route built up gradually over 6 years, but it's not the passive fortune the online pitches promise. Notice what's actually driving that number. Not luck, not magic, but volume, negotiation, and Ray's own hours behind the wheel. This is a logistics and relationship business that happens to run through a vending machine-shaped box, not a truly passive income stream. None of these figures are guarantees. Transaction volume varies by neighborhood, season, and even the weather on a given weekend. A route that thrives in one city might struggle in another with different cash habits or a saturated market. Worth saying plainly here, everything in this episode is meant to help you understand how the business works, not as financial or investment advice for your specific situation. Do your own homework on your own market before putting real capital behind it. So the honest headline is this: a single machine might earn an owner a few $100s a month, and a real multi-machine route can turn that into a meaningful part-time income, roughly the range Ray's living in, but very rarely a full replacement for a salary on its own. Which raises the obvious next question. Given all that, who actually should be running one of these routes, and who should stay far away from it? This business rewards people who enjoy negotiating with location owners, who don't mind driving a regular route, and who like having a tangible asset they can see and touch rather than a line on a brokerage statement. If you enjoy the hustle of relationship management as much as the numbers, this can be a satisfying side business. It's a poor fit for anyone expecting truly passive income, or anyone without spare capital sitting comfortably in reserve for the cash float. If tying up $2,000 or $3,000 per machine on top of the machine's own cost would stretch your finances thin, this isn't the business to start with. The owners who do well treat their host locations like actual business partners, checking in, fixing problems fast, and keeping that relationship healthy. Lose a good location because you let a machine sit broken for 2 weeks, and you've lost the whole revenue stream that came with it. So let's close the loop on that opening number. That $3 fee you pay at the ATM doesn't land whole in the owner's pocket. It gets carved up by the host commission, the float, and the running costs of the route, before whatever's left becomes real income. If you found this kind of unglamorous physical income stream interesting, you'll probably enjoy our next breakdown just as much. Vending machine routes, which run on a strikingly similar logic of location, commission, and restocking labor, just with snacks instead of cash. There's no shortcut here, just steady, unglamorous logistics dressed up as passive income. Understand the real math, and you can decide for yourself whether that trade is worth your time and your capital. If this kind of honest breakdown is useful to you, share it with someone chasing the passive income dream, and subscribe to Financially Astute so we can open the books on the next business together. I'll see you in the next one.